Welcome to those of you on Twitch and YouTube if you're watching this after the live stream. We're going to be trying out VIKABULU today for a couple of games and see how it fares. I did make a few changes. Hello Powermouse, thank you for being here. I did make a few changes to a list to update it with Guardians Rising's cards. So yeah, let's review the deck really quickly. Thank you guys for the nice messages on chat. We have Vikavolt with strong charge, which allows you to attach a grass and a lightning energy to any Pokemon you want. And we have Tapu Bulu-GX 180 HP, no weakness, which is pretty nice, and gets a horn attack for 30, and then you get to use Nature's Judgment in order to one-hit KO pretty much any basic GX Pokemon or even some of the evolved GX Pokemon. As you get to decide, if you discard all the energy, you deal 60 more damage, and of course you combo with Vikavolt in order to deal extra damage. And you also have Tapu Wilderness GX, which with a Choice Band deals 180, and you get to heal all the damage from Tapu Bulu. So there's a lot of great synergy between these two cards. We have 2 Lele, 1 Shaymin for support, and we also have 2 Tapu Koko. Tapu Koko allows you to spread damage, and therefore you get to soften up things so that Tapu Bulu either doesn't need Choice Band to get knockouts, or you're able to get some knockouts thanks to a Choice Band and the extra damage counters. Now, some of the updates from Burning Shadows include the 2 Guzma, which replace the 2 Lysander, as the switching effect is really nice. You usually do have the Tapu Kokos on the bench, or even another Tapu Bulu ready to be powered up. And then you also have Acerola in order to return a damaged Pokemon and potentially switch out Vikavolt if need be. And no, today I won't be playing with viewers. I'll be laddering, as I'm just trying to ground out games for Worlds. But you're welcome to try and meet me in the ladder if you want, like try to queue at the same time. Or you have to queue a little bit before me so that we get matched up, but you're welcome to do that for sure. Now this is based off of John Roberts' list, so I'm not sure. I know a lot of people like it and other people really don't like not using Versus Seeker, which is something that really stands out. However, I did take out the Escape Rope because we now have Guzma and Acerola, and I did include a second Energy Recycler. Energy Recycler seems pretty important to the deck strategy, and if for some reason you discard it early through a Sycamore, even though you're only running 2, you definitely really suffer. So having access to these extra resources seems really nice. And then the rest is pretty much consistency. 2 Sycamore and 2 N and a 3 Skyla engine this time around with no VS Seekers. We have 4 Ultra Ball, 4 Rare Candy. We have the extra Heavy Ball, which can search for Tapu Bulu or can search for Vikavolt. We have the 2 Field Blowers, the 2 Switch, the 2 Choice Bands, and 3 Fighting Fury Belts. So yeah, that's the deck. Now let's jump into the ladder and see how we fare, guys. Now, like I said, if you guys want to jump in the ladder and try to match me, feel free. Thanks to all of you who are joining me today. There seems to be an issue with the software, which is not updating the latest there you go, the latest followers and subs. And yeah, seems like my opponent is surprised about facing us, so not sure if they recognize me or not. And yeah, what Pelupe is mentioning is correct. I'm just gonna ladder to practice for Worlds. I know a lot of you guys are using post-rotation decks and things like that, so these couple of days I really wanted to stream to get you. Oh, apparently we're up against Jackson Ford. He just messaged me. And we have an okay hand. We go, thank you for being here. Hello all the way to Argentina. Very nice of you to be here. Team Polyswag, why are you playing this deck? Well, I'm playing this deck because, wow, triple Powtown, triple Flowstone, and Bridget hand. Interesting. I'm playing this deck because I want to showcase this deck as an update before Worlds. I feel like some people are considering it for sure. So yeah, it's just to add variety to the channel. I know a lot of people don't really like this deck. I have mixed feelings on it. I feel like when it works, it really works well, but if you miss a single bit, you can definitely struggle a little bit. But yeah, thank you for the follow, Team Polyswag. Thank you so much. And yeah, we see a turn 1 Bridget for my opponent, so pretty decent. We are going to get a turn 1 Bridget as well. However, we are not going to be able to do too much beyond that. I could smack the Drampa with a Tapu Bulu potentially. However, I don't think that's a great idea. Let's see what we top deck here though. We top deck a Field Blower, okay. So I'm not a huge fan of discarding all of these energy, of course, but I don't think I have a choice. I do have the Energy Recycler, thankfully. However, I do need to go for Lele and go for Bridget here. Yep, Bridget is in the deck. And thank you guys so much for the follow, Exus. And yeah, I'm gonna Lele for Bridget. And my opponent really wants Potown, of course. He wants Potown in order to evolve and have a DCE in order to knock out the Tapu Koko. Off of 3 cards, having an evolution, a Potown and a DCE seems unlikely, but definitely not impossible. So we do have a Skyla. So Skyla can guarantee me an Ultra Ball in order to potentially go for Shaymin and draw a few extra cards there. We see the first evolution, however, second evolution as well. However, we don't see Potown, which is great. So Tapu Koko might actually survive. And Mario, yeah, no, the rotation does not affect Worlds. Worlds is next weekend, and the rotation happens on September 1st. So it's really weird. It's really weird how they do their whole rotation thing, because the season starts in July, there's Worlds, and then there's rotation. So it's weird in that sense. And yeah, my opponent decided to go for the GX attack. Now, with our current hand, we actually have no way of punishing that. And wow, yeah. I mean, we have the Fighting Fury Belt. So the Fighting Fury Belt gives us a little bit of an edge here, because without a Field Blower, my opponent will not be able to knock me out. But I'm not too happy to just deal this damage. The GX attack would be nice. If he hits into us, doesn't knock us out, and then we get to use the GX attack, that would be pretty nice. No, Mario, I have not decided what I want to play just yet for Worlds. Does he have the Choice Band as well? I have not decided what I want to play at Worlds. Okay, he goes for the Berserk. I'm really surprised at that, because now I just use my GX attack to heal, right? I'm gonna Rare Candy into Vikavolt, of course, though I cannot use it. And I get to keep the energy. I get to keep the energy and completely heal off and get the knockout. So I feel like a small mistake by my opponent here, just attacking into the Tapu Bulu. Well, not necessarily a mistake, but I think he should have, I mean, I don't know what he had in his hand, but he probably should have tried to deck for the Choice Band, which he might have top decked just now. Now he needs to find a DCE in order to knock us out. He did have Sycamore the previous turn, so does he hit the DCE or not? He doesn't, okay. Pretty interesting, so we're still alive here. If I had Guzma here, it would be amazing, but yeah. The low item usage does mean that Garbodor doesn't deal too much damage. I need Field Blower. I really need one of my Skylas into Field Blower. I mean, I'm not sure. I think you commit the energy to another Drampa and you just hit for 20. Because all he did was guarantee that I would knock him. I don't know. I'm really not sure. I don't know if there was a better play, but I feel like at least the energy you don't commit it to Drampa. Like if it's gonna get knocked out anyways. Yes, he made me waste the GX attack, but I don't know. I'm not entirely sure that was That was the best play. I'd have to think about it a little bit more. I'd like to know what else he had in his hand, because remind me if I'm wrong, but he played the N on turn 1. No, he played the Bridget. Then he used N and followed by the GX attack. And then the Sycamore was played the previous turn, so I definitely would have dogged for the Choice Band to get the knockout. That's what I would have tried to do. I get another knockout here, which is pretty nice. I don't want to discard the energy. I don't expect Tapu Bulu to live the next turn, but it's definitely done its job for now. The issue is after this, though. This is the issue with this list, with no VS Seekers, no acceleration really. We have yet to play a single supporter card. And okay, I mean, we'll take the end just because our hand is really bad, and we can definitely use our refreshment. And we get the Skyla. So the Skyla guarantees we get the knockout on the Drampa, which is pretty good. And we're not using many item cards. There's only 4 item cards so far. I'll promote the Tapu Koko, and what deck do I prefer? Well, I definitely think I prefer blocking items. Removing energy seems a bit unreliable, so between the option of removing energy or blocking items, I prefer the style of blocking items. Now I'm gonna remove the Potown. I think the floatstones are more relevant. The Potown, I mean, the evolving damage doesn't really hurt us too much. And I'm going to strong charge here onto the Bulu. There's only 1 grass energy left, so that's something we have to take into account, because that means we won't be able to attack with Tapu Bulu the next turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There is a grass priced, so we're gonna take a price card right here. The Choice Band. I don't need Choice Band to knock out a GX, right? So I'll attach the Choice Band to the Vikavolt in case I'm ever in a position where I need to attack with the Vikavolt. And I'll just Nature's Judgment here to get down to 1 price card. And yeah, like I said, when this deck works, it really works. And the end by my opponent was the differential here. Now if he gets another Floatstone, we might be in trouble because we only have one field blower left. He decides to go for the rescue stretcher instead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 item cards for us. We're gonna see another N. Okay, attaching the Fighting Fury Belt to the Tapu Bulu would have been really nice. And now we're gonna be in hardcore top deck mode. Our hope is that my opponent didn't get a Psychic, which he did. He'll be able to 2-shot our Bulu, and we're definitely in trouble here. Now, if I play this item card, I will have 6, which means Tapu Koko does get knocked out. However, I really don't have too many options here. So I might as well sacrifice the Charjabug instead of my main Pokemon. The switch also means that he can Lysander knock out the Vikavolt, which he might do, but no, he's trying to knock out the GXs, which makes sense. Especially because once he knocks this guy out, I have no way to threaten him. Well, I have Vikavolt, but I'm still missing energy in order to do so. I need a second Vikavolt. Okay, but I top deck the Sycamore. And that's the first draw supporter I'm using here. The absolute first draw supporter. Okay, so I don't find a way to get rid of the item lock, of the current item lock. Another item card means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 items. Excuse me. Okay. I might end up stalling for time with Guzma, or rather the Garbodor. I'll probably end up using Guzma for the Garbodor. So what's my play here? I don't want to play another item card. I think I just retreat into the Bulu because I feel like Tapu Koko is my best play here, my best offensive Pokemon. It might be Lele actually. Yeah, it's gotta be Lele. So yeah, I'll let Bulu take a hit. And then my opponent, we've only seen Lysander. Oh no, never mind. We've seen 2 Guzma and 1 Lysander, but there's 3 VS Seekers, so my opponent must realize that Garbodor is a little bit threatened. He might want to end me once again. And thank you for the bless yous. Hello GD. And sorry about the sneeze, guys. I definitely don't plan those. Okay, so my opponent Sycamore pretty hard there. He might be. There's 2 field blowers in play as well. So if he doesn't have his 4th Seeker, we might actually be good here. Even with a Choice Band, he wouldn't have knocked me out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 7 item cards. So 140 with a Choice Band, 170. He decides to attach energy to Koko, which I am completely okay with, because the energy should have been going to the Garbodor. I guess he's not realizing the threat. I get another Koko. I'm just gonna Lysander up the Garb. Fortunately, I don't have an energy to do other things. Now, I can afford to play the Heavy Ball now to thin out my deck by 1 more card. Yeah, there's 3 energy left. There's 2 Fighting Tree Belt. There's 2 Skyla. There's a switch. There's a field blower. So yeah, depends on my opponent's hand. If he has VS Seeker Guzma, we lose. If he doesn't, we win. And I'm gonna leave a non-GX in the active spot, of course. And good luck, Kohler. Good luck with that, with your tournament. Okay, so my opponent doesn't have the VS Seeker just yet. I'll attach the Fighting Fury Belt, and I could end here. That would make my deck thicker, actually. How many TCs has he played so far? 2, 3. Okay, that's the 3rd TC. So we get a switch. How many Psychics then? 3 TCs. Oh, and he put 3 Psychics back actually. But if he decides to retreat and I Guzma once, and he doesn't have the Lysander, and I Guzma once again, I probably win, right? Like by that time I should have drawn an energy. Okay, he passes. There's the energy for the win. Oof. That was super close, but we found our win condition. We found our win condition and we managed to get it. So despite the item lock, we got a pretty good start, and I do feel like in the beginning my opponent could have dug for that Choice Band. I don't know why he didn't. I mean, he was going to discard a ton of resources after that GX attack for 10, but he should have, like, you realize the worst case scenario where your Drampa already has damage, and thus if you get knocked out and I get to heal, then you really didn't accomplish anything. So yeah, there you go. There you go. Thank you. Hello, Apples and Shoes. Thank you for being here. Seagrove, well played. Good game. And yeah, a good game to Jackson Ford, which I don't know if he's watching or not. But yeah, really good game. He definitely wasn't watching, otherwise some of his plays did not make sense. Okay, so let me just... Okay, so pretty okay hand, I would say, especially going first. We definitely don't want to Sycamore away these resources because we don't have VS Seeker. Is VIKABULU a deck I'm considering? It's an option. It's definitely an option. Worlds is next weekend, GD. And yeah, I mean, VIKABULU will always be a strong option. Always. We don't know what we're up against, but we have a pretty good hand. We definitely have a pretty good hand. Oh, he says he forgot to put the choice band. Oh, he says he forgot to put the choice band. Yeah, now it makes sense that, yeah. Yeah, today's stream is only in English. I mean, you can ask me things in Spanish in the chat, and I will reply, of course, in English. And I will reply, I mean, of course, sometimes in Spanish, sometimes in English. But yesterday I streamed in Spanish, so today is a live stream in English. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna attach the grass, and I'm going to Sycamore here. And okay, so this is what I was looking for. I get an Ultra Ball in order to search for another Tapu Bulu. Kinda want to discard the Koko outright. And yeah, that makes sense. And Doomsday, thank you for being here. It's really nice that well, Golisopod can knock me out for sure. Golisopod can definitely knock me out in one hit with the GX attack, but that's the only time. And now I'm spreading the energy this way so that I have a chance to make sure I attack next turn. And I also get to keep the energy, so that's pretty good. If you do this, no, I do not want to discard the energy. And yeah, Xkuhai, today is English. I tried to do one day in English, one day in Spanish. So yesterday was in Spanish, today is in English. Are you close to settling on a deck to play for Worlds? Honestly, no. I want to keep my options open, and I still thank you for the follow, Apples and Shoes. I want to keep my options open, and I want to make sure I test everything, that I don't close my mind into anything, including VIKABULU potentially. But if I had to pick one deck right now, I think I would pick Gardevoir. I think I would definitely pick Gardevoir. Okay, the opponent decides to first impression for only 60 damage, so his hand is definitely not great. And I kind of don't even want to strong charge here. I definitely won't need another Vikavolt. So I'm gonna Ultra Ball, and yeah, there's a victory. Yeah, I was going to take a one-hit KO, and I had a backup Tapu Bulu. I even had access to Lele and then Acerola. And yeah. For when the shirtless video, there won't be a shirtless video, guys. Do you think there will be a lot of Metagross decks because of Gardevoir? No, I don't think so. I mean, Gardevoir is getting hype, but Metagross only beats Gardevoir. I don't think it beats anything else really. And yeah, we're in a 5-game win streak. That's pretty nice. Are day 2 top players like you required to send their deck list on Thursday before the tournament begins? No, actually, how it works is day 1 of Worlds happens on Friday, and day 1 players can submit their deck list on Thursday evening or Friday morning, and then after that, after day 1 is over, players from day 1 can change their decks, and so on day 2 on Saturday morning, everyone submits a deck list. So players from day 1 can change their deck list, their whole deck or just a few cards, and day 2 players submit their deck until Saturday. So yeah, we can actually, it's a big advantage playing directly in day 2 because you get to scout the meta exactly. And so if a ton of Greninja makes it through to day 2, then you can consider playing a grass type deck, or you can consider playing Giratina promo. If a lot of Mega Ray goes through, then you can consider playing Sudowoodo and things like that. Okay, so we got a pretty good hand actually, because we get to turn 1 Lele, and we have the Skyla. We get to turn 1 Bridger, and we have the Skyla for Vikavolt. So, and yeah, I was gonna say, I think Gardevoir, yes, there will be Gardevoir for sure, but I don't think it will be too popular to warrant playing, wait, I don't need 2 Grubbins, to warrant playing, or to warrant not playing Metagross, simply because Metagross doesn't really beat too much else besides Gardevoir. And if Gardevoir is playing Hex Maniac, it's not even guaranteed that you beat them. I feel like Hex Maniac helps the matchup a lot. And yeah, the meta could definitely be different between the 2 days. I think it will be different. You played against a Gardevoir deck with a Lazzle GX and he gave up. Yeah, I mean, every deck can dead draw for sure. I've definitely dead drawn quite a bit with my Gardevoir deck. And where did I learn to speak English? I learned to speak English in a British school in Mexico. I went to a private school, and so that's where I learned. That's where I learned English. Okay, once again the thing is not updating. Okay, so I get a knockout, an outright knockout on the Lele here after I search for the rare candy. Now my opponent did get a triple elixir, I mean double elixir plus energy attachment, powered up Volcanion. That's pretty scary, but even if he knocks me out, as long as I find a grass energy, I should be good. And I have a Fighting Fury belt. I don't know if I wish it were a choice band. I don't think I do. But yeah, I mean, I discard the energy. He needs double steam up, so 2 basic fire energies and a field blower to knock me out. And even if he does that, if I manage to find a grass energy, which I might actually dig for with Lele and Sycamore, I should be able to knock out the Volcanion. Okay, so there's the other Volcanion. He can also triple steam up. No, triple steam up does the trick. Triple steam up does do the trick. Yeah, triple steam up does do the trick. So seems unlikely though. Did he already do it? No, he's only at double, right? So I have to switch between the chat and OBS and everything, so gets a bit chaotic sometimes. Okay, but my opponent Risky Stretchers a Lele. And is he going to N? Is he going to Sycamore? I would prefer N actually, just to refresh my hand. I wouldn't mind getting N here. No, okay, Hex Maniac, that makes sense. That actually makes sense. Now, did he get the triple steam up? I don't remember. No, he didn't get the triple steam up. He only got double steam up. So I actually get to Acerola here and immediately heal, and I get to sacrifice the Koko, or even I could even sacrifice the Grubbin. That's also an option. I'll attach the Fighting Fury belt once again. And see, the thing is, if I promote the Grubbin and he doesn't knock me out, I would be not in trouble per se, but in an awkward situation. And he just attacked with Volcanion, and therefore he can't attack again unless he uses Guzma, but he has no free retreater. He has 3 cards in hand, unless he has Ranger as well, but Volcanion doesn't play Ranger anymore. And do you prefer Ho or Turtonator in Volcanion? And Trey, I believe that using both is the best, because they're both really good. I am favoring Ho more lately, but I do think that, oh, I didn't upload that video to YouTube. I forgot to do that. Let me do that really quickly to let people know that I'm online. But yeah, I feel like both are decent. And right now in the video I uploaded, which is my current version of the deck, I'm playing 2 Ho and 1 Turtonator. But I could see myself either switching the counts or even playing 1 of each. Or 2 of each, I mean. Okay, just 1 second. Okay, so we see more steam ups. We did see my opponent switch out thanks to switch, but we see Tapu Koko survive. So you can see also the big The big difference that a Starmie could potentially be making right now. And okay, so I will not get... Wow, the Fighting Fury belt is actually amazing here. So I'm gonna discard the Switch and the Tapu Lele, which seems not ideal because I'm left with an supporter-less and energy-less and like resource-less hand. However, what else could I possibly need right now? I have the most absolute perfect setup, and I also get to strong charge. There's plenty of energy in my deck. I get to completely power up this Tapu Bulu, which is awesome. The grass will go to the Bulu, the lightning will go to the other Bulu. And I'm just gonna take a knockout here with Nature's Judgment. Thanks to the +10 from the Fighting Fury belt, I get to knock out the Volcanion. And you see how important Fighting Fury belt is in this deck. It allowed me to survive the hit by Volcanion the previous turn, and it also allowed me to completely to knock out this Volcanion. Whereas otherwise, if I had used or if I had a Choice Band, not only would have my first Tapu Bulu gone down in the beginning of the game, but I would have had to use my GX attack to knock out the baby Volcanion, or discarded all my energy if I wanted to save the GX attack. So there's all of that to consider. And yeah, I do like Taco Pastor. I definitely like my Pastor. It's probably one of the things I miss the most when I travel. Are those kind of tacos. And for those of you who don't know Tacos al Pastor, I recommend you Google that because they're amazing. Okay, so my opponent once again isn't able to knock me out. I'm very tempted. Yeah, my opponent pretty disappointed with that. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm not even going to save the Tapu Bulu. I don't need to heal here. I get more mileage out of knocking him out. Especially because I have enough energy in my deck to power up another Tapu Bulu after I use this Energy Recycler. I'm not optimizing the Energy Recycler, but I'm guaranteeing I have enough energy every single time. And yeah, I mean, I can even power up a Vikavolt potentially. I'll just keep the energy just in case. Meh, do I? No, I'll just attach to the Vikavolt. It's really no big deal. It's just all about thinning my deck. If he plays Hex, then we just get delayed a turn. Oh, oops, he has his own Fighting Fury belt. I completely forgot about that. I did not notice it. Okay, that's fine still. Next turn we can use the GX attack to heal and knock out. He still has to deal 80 damage, so doubles team up. The Starmie no access to Starmie is really hurting him. And yeah, that was a big fail for sure. That was definitely a big fail for me. Obviously it wasn't on purpose, but that was a big mistake on my part. We see a switch. So he really wants to use the Volcanion. I mean, it's the same. It ends up working out the exact same. I get to heal this Tapu Bulu. And yeah, I mean, it actually ends up being the exact same results. I'll just take a knockout with my GX attack. I am down to 1 prize card and I have a fully healed, fully powered up Tapu Bulu. And hello Wendigo, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for being here. And yeah, for some reason the layout is not updating. Probably because they both clicked at the same time. Okay, so we see another Volk. There's a new emote for you to use, Wendigo. As you can see in the chat right there. Okay, so Tapu Lele I mean, N doesn't really do much, and if he goes for a Lysander to try to stall, I can just double power up and retreat, so it's really no big deal. There's no way we lose now. There's no way we lose. And yeah, Comercat, there you go. Yeah, Windigo. I'm going to take Bulu to Worlds. I have the deck built. I don't know if I'm going to use it or not, but I do have the deck built. And yeah, Rene, I do one day English, one day Spanish, or I try to. So because yesterday was in Spanish, today is in English, and that's how we alternate. Okay, so my opponent finally gets a field blower. We'll be able to remove the Fighting Fury belts, which have been annoying him so much, but he still needs double steam up to get a knockout. And even if he does, we knock out. And with Vikavolt if we want to. No, not with Vikavolt. Oh, we actually don't knock out. Because of the Fighting Fury belt. I keep forgetting. Yeah, I keep forgetting. And thank you guys for the new followers. I don't know why the layout is not updating. I really don't know. Okay, so with a Choice Band, I still don't get a knockout. However, yeah. Hello, hello, Gansman. How are you? How are you? All good. Just playing some VIKABULU games. Everyone's favorite deck. Could Tapu Bulu be viable after rotation? I think it could. It doesn't lose too many resources. I'm not gonna discard my energy just so that I have both Bulus powered up. And yeah, I mean, I think it's viable. I definitely think it's viable. And thank you guys to all the new followers. Thank you guys so much for being here. You've been testing it locally. Yeah, I mean, the deck is good. The deck is definitely good. I think it struggles with Gardevoir though. That's my biggest worry. I do think it struggles with Gardevoir, but it definitely has a good chance against everything else. Okay, so there's a Vikavolt. The Vikavolt attempt to stall. So I only have 2 energy left in my deck, which really sucks. That really sucks, and it goes down to that turn where I didn't optimize my Energy Recycler. So what I'm gonna do here is, I mean, whenever my opponent knocks me out, I win the game, right? And I will eventually draw the other Energy Recycler, or a Switch, or no, Acerola, no, or a Guzma. So eventually we will win. My opponent cannot win without taking prize cards. We will not deck out before him, clearly. And yeah, we've created an unwinnable situation for my opponent. The only way he would be able to win is if he had something like Ho-Oh to target the bench. Hello Chip, thank you for being here. Thank you so much for being here, all good. Yeah, I don't think my opponent can do too much right now. Does Gardevoir can beat Greninja? Gardevoir and Greninja is a weird matchup. Greninja is definitely favored because it can Shadow Stitching forever. However, Greninja's setup can be kind of frail, so a quick Gardevoir can sometimes just run over Greninja before it sets up. And yeah, no post-rotation, no more Silent Lab does mean a little bit of trouble for... It does mean trouble for Greninja if people start using Giratina promo. But I generally don't know too much about post-rotation yet, because since I've been focusing for Worlds, I cannot tell you guys specifically, because I haven't played a single game of post-rotation. Okay, so now we can knock out everything, so we don't need the Choice Band on anything other than Vikavolts. I can just pass here and we have the Guzma. So my opponent needs to end me here, otherwise he loses. And Pokemon Ranger is still in the post-rotation format. Yeah, I mean, there's instances, and like when the metagame develops, where Ranger can be good in a metagame for sure. We see a Seeker for Cosma. For what? What are you looking for, opponent? For N. Okay, so back to square one. Back to square one. Thank you, Rene, for being here. Thank you so much. Yeah, losing Dive Ball is really harsh on Greninja. Really, really harsh. Okay, so yeah, my opponent just powering up everything. The last, I assume, or the third VS Seeker, I mean not VS Seeker, the third Fighting Fear belt my opponent attached to the active, which will not save him from a hit from Tapu Bulu. So yeah. Oh ho ho, Acerola. Okay, so now that's an issue. I mean, whenever my opponent finally gets a knockout, we can Shaymin, because we have that in hand. We can still get Field Blower, we can still get Cosma. So we have outs. We totally have outs. Trading chip. You also just swapped the Diancie tech in Garb. Yeah, I mean, Diancie is strange. Okay, so my opponent just goes on the offensive, knocks out the Vikavolt, and so we get an opening here to use Shaymin and hopefully find Cosma or Field Blower, and we top deck the Field Blower, so that's enough to win us the match. Lucky top deck, but I was going to Shaymin, and there had been quite a few turns for us to get it, so yeah. There we go. So we get another win, and I guess we've been playing VIKABULU a lot, so we're gonna switch decks now. If you're watching this on YouTube, thank you guys so much for watching, and if you could leave a like on the video, it would be very appreciated.